Hello and welcome to Caesar Snack Sandwich. Today we're back on Ethereum looking at Growth DeFi, a protocol that grows your assets with the sunlight of lending interest and the hydration of swap fees. Let's take a look at what's in the garden. So here we are in Growth DeFi. Growth DeFi is a pretty special protocol that has a small use case. It has a pretty direct, simple, easy to understand system that's going on inside. In this article here, I've summarized it pretty accurately, and that is investors can benefit from compounding interest, liquidity providing fees, and arbitrage while avoiding impermanent loss. So what does that mean? So if we go inside the app, we see that there's not a whole lot going on here. There's two products right here, and there's GC DAI and GC USDC. Now these are the two main things that they are producing right now, and they also have the Grow token, which is the governance token, but it also has a little more use case in here that I'll explain later. So what can you do with this protocol? And that is you can mint new GC DAI tokens. Now, how do you mint a GC DAI token? You need to supply the protocol with DAI. And what is it going to do with this DAI? It's going to take this DAI over to Compound Finance and stick it in here and gain 3%. So it's going to stick your DAI in here and get a C DAI token from Compound. And you see that here as in the C DAI reserve. This is how much C DAI has been locked into this protocol. And then this GC DAI supply is how much GC DAI has been minted from this C DAI token. Now the special thing about this is it has a 1% fee. Now what does this 1% fee do? Half of it will be used to, well, the whole 1% will be used to create GC DAI, but half of it will be used to, half of this GC DAI that's created, half of this 1% of the GC DAI that's created will be burned. So there will be constantly more and more C DAI in a ratio to how much GC DAI is created every time someone mints GC DAI. So this number will constantly go up, and this one will constantly go up as well, but it will go up slower than this one. So the gap between them will grow. So your GC DAI will increase in value every time someone mints new GC DAI. Now, the other half of this 1% will be used to provide liquidity to one of these two pools, the Grow token, which is the governance token, and the GC USD or whatever token it is that you've provided, that you've minted. So these two pools are, in essence, they are locked pools. They have liquidity in here that can never be redeemed because the protocol itself has put the liquidity in here, and the protocol has no ability to actually pull liquidity from these pools. Now people can add liquidity to these pools if they want and increase the liquidity and gain in on this fee, but the protocol itself cannot. So these pools can grow, but they can never actually go to zero. So now that's the minting. Now redeeming has the same fee mechanism. Every time you want to redeem your GC DAI, you have to pay that 1% again with the same division of half of it going to burning and to increase the gap between these, and the other half going to provide liquidity to these pools to make these pools even bigger. Now, what are these pools used for? Generally, they'll be used for arbitrage. So people will have Grow and they will swap it for this and swap it back and forth. Now, I'm not going to get into how to mathematically gain this benefit. It's arbitrage. That's a topic for another video. But if you did have these two tokens, or one of them, you could swap for them, and you would be providing for the service, because this swap fee from swapping between these tokens, the entirety of it will be burned. So both of these tokens are deflationary depending on which one is paying for the fees, right? So that's the redeem and the mint, and that pretty much covers the main idea of what's going on in Growth Protocol. Now there is the Growth token is also a governance token, right? So it will provide the users with the ability to vote on proposals or upgrades, or maybe new tokens, or maybe they want to change some of these fees, right? Like, oh, they want to change this mint fee to 2% or 0.5% or something. These are things that the DAO will vote for. Now, the reason why I like this protocol is because it's pretty straightforward and easy to understand. It's pretty simple and it's clear, and there's not a whole lot going on. Now, one thing I want to warn people about doing is if you want to invest with Growth DeFi, you don't want to buy the Grow token and wait for it to go up in value. If you look at the 30-day price action of this, it's a constant down. There's a little bit of bump here, but this is brand new times, right? But it's pretty steady. The value is constantly decreasing. So don't buy this token hoping that you're going to get rich. You're supposed to take advantage of these vaults. Now, buying the Grow token is not a terrible idea. There are benefits. There are use cases for it, especially if you're going to arbitrage between the Growth token and one of these tokens back and forth. You can do this. It's quite easy. And by doing it, you're also creating more value for the tokens that you're arbitraging through. So it's a smart thing to do, but don't go out and buy this token and wait for it to pump, okay? That's pretty much it. And invite you, if you want a better understanding, you can go through my article here. I go in pretty deep. There's a few things I skip over. You can also read the white paper if you want. It's a good read. You can also join the Telegram and ask questions there like I did. It's a great place to learn, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And if you have more questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them, or at least forward you to someone who can answer them. Thanks again, and goodbye. If you made it this far through the video, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. Now, if you want, you'll notice that you could always subscribe to my channel. If you may have noticed that my thumbnails have changed. Now, this is because I got a new microphone and it's improved my audio quite a bit. I hope you guys have noticed. All of these old videos, if you see the brownish, grayish here, those are my old videos. The sound quality is quite it's bad. So if you want to watch them, go ahead. But I'm going to try to remake some of them, maybe not. But sometimes I'll link to these, and if you go to the links, then I apologize for the sound quality. Now, if you would like to support the channel, you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment below. You can come and check out my Twitter. I only ever tweet about cryptocurrency related topics, so you feel free to join me there. Link in the description. The final way you can help me is you can head over to Rarible and pick up a NTF if you like. I try to make them cheap. I'm going to try to make some new ones as well. These don't seem to be too popular. But if you feel like throwing me a few bucks, grab an NTF. Get an NTF out of the deal. So these are all of the links are in the description for these places. So feel free to check them out. And thank you again. Goodbye.